Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that
Oh, mighty Adeptus!
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply, I'm going to award you full mark.
My name isn't important. I'm not even here. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here.
Shэнь Hэ and Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're... But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's...
Okay then, Miss Secretary.
In truth, it is the if everything goes according to As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented... Now, please excuse me.
Shэнь Hé. Just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was...
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So whenever Paimon gets...
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an Adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how Adepti are. At least the...
But I am not...
Shэнь Hé?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode.
Well, Byron said that there are some...
No need. I simply need to find myself a...
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild. And when you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice...
Okay.
Great! Now we're talking.
Hi there! Checking in, are we? Since this was chosen as the building's business...
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready with... Here are your keys?
Shэнь Hé, you should go... Byron's gonna go see if there's a... Let's buy one for Shэнь Hé too!
All right. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that cloud retainer? Let's go and see...
One trusts you have met Shэнь Hé.
So far, so good. Yeah. So...
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor.
Cool. So, what's her calling her Shэнь Hé feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful.
Her Adeptus name. Why pray
Don't all Adeptus...
On this latter point, you are correct.
Oh, right. Wait, what? You knew already? So is Paimon...
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
Well, to start with, her...
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years. One first found Shэнь Hé by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed inside was Shэнь Hé, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with...
That sounds so...
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children that she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong will. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only...
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate...
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid bad?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shэнь Hé has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practice. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Moon Carver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that
Oh, now Paimon gets it.
You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion. Incorrect. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liu Wei. If she handles it admirably, let us conclude our conversation.
Hey, so, Shэнь Hэ.
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning. After all, Master is...
Sorry, Shэнь Hэ.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner. Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very...
To be fair, we've met our fair share of... Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you...
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails.
Great! Well, now that... But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how... After all, sunset vermilionite is so rare.
It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The jade chamber is floating. But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey!
Given the enormous scale of the jade chamber, before we find some suitable plustrite, we build the jade chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plustrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed jade chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plustrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plustrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch. Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right? Oh, sure. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beidou, captain of the Crux.
Beidou? Are you here to join the jade?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is...
Shэнь Hэ. I am there.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, Miss Yun is also here for the contest.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about, to be honest with you all. I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connect.
Wow. So
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shэнь Hэ, but are...
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places.
Sounds great, but
I think I see where you're going with this. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. Alright, I'll go first. I have some leads on... From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and I'm gonna take off. See you later.
okay, by the way, what question are you gonna ask me?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment.
Ooh, what's the opera called?
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Hello. Excuse me, Master. Of course I have. My name is Yun Jin. So, the guides have warned me. Sure, if I remember correctly, it could take some work, but if you stick with it, of course, it's probably... Now, Tianheng, interestingly enough, this device here that you there, perhaps you can give me some...
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these. No wonder the legend of the Divine Damsel of Devastation is said to have taken...
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story... What's the story about?
It's the story of a girl.
Cool.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be in that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers,
What a nasty piece of work!
But the monster was so just while they were discussing whose child would be...
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom... And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was... I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience.
I think it's a great story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some... Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us. Huh. He didn't...
Hello, sir. We were just passing by.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Shenhua, Yunjin.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's
Shэнь Hé.
Shэнь Hé. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think this place is deserted now. No one ever comes here.
Huh?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shэнь Hé.
Okay, then let's see what we can find.
The remains of a god, an abandoned village, Mount Tianheng. Does this mean that the true story, the time frame certainly matches? What's this? So, Shэнь Hé is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. According to this text, the divine and she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shэнь Hé said the girl was not as brave. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions.
This is it! So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of... Let's go back and tell Shэнь Hé...
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story. I was a very close friend of your father's. I bring flowers back here every year. And each...
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love.
Do you still...
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity. So if you ask me how I feel about the...
It must have been so...
Shэнь Hé, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. I'll tell you more about the old...
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shэнhua, look! This tells us how to find Sprosia.
Let's go then.
Miss Shэнь Hé, there's something I'd like to talk just now. In the village, we found your father's diary.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue.
Don't worry. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire.
Shэнь Hé! Yunjin! Cut the chick! We can't let someone else be...